right, let's hit the field.
All right.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
Today is Sunday, August 18th, and the Yankees were taking on the Tigers in the Little League Classic. Marcus Stroman was on the mound, and Jasson Dominguez, the Martian, was back in the lineup. My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is Pinstripe Territory.
Welcome to
Pinstripe Territory.
Come on, Erik. Just when they thought I was out,
They pull me back in.
Well, that sucked. TK, 10th blown save of the season for Clay Holmes, and the Yankees snatched defeat from the jaws of victory here in Game 125 in the Little League Classic. I don't want Clay Holmes anywhere near a mound in the postseason, TK. And that throw by Dominguez there, a little bit of lacked a little bit of urgency there. Got to come up firing. All in all, an ugly ending to that game.
Yeah, I mean, look, a little bit of positive news. This is my Pinstripe Territory debut.
Welcome.
Super awesome.
All right.
I love the new logo, the new look. Super exciting for the channel. But that being said, let's get right to it. Yeah, that sucked. That straight up sucked. When the guy stole second, I was like, game over. No outs, guy on second right there. I was like, that's it. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's youth with Dominguez, or maybe that's something where a veteran player, like is Verdugo coming up fire in there? Maybe.
Yeah, I think he is. I think that's, Dominguez rookie mistake. Obviously got to be more aggressive there. He kind of double clutched. You got to know that's the winning run on second. That's a do or die play, right? So you got to come up just gunning. And it looked like he came up and checked to see if the guy was going, and was kind of surprised that he was. And to be fair, the runner going from second to third was kind of going slowly. I mean, he wasn't exactly like tearing up. So maybe he kind of looked out at the corner of his eye, out of his peripherals, and was like, all right, maybe he's not going. And then when he saw he was, he double clutched.
Yeah, I mean, that was just tough. I kind of think it was that I don't think he thought that they were going to wave him home. But just given the situation of the game right there, you kind of have to come up firing, just because I don't really think they're going to roll the dice and not have him go home and give the bat to the next at-bat. So, yeah, there you got to come up firing. And with Clay Holmes, dude, it's a hole. It's a massive hole on this team. I'm not saying he's a bad reliever, because he's a good reliever. But is he a good closer? That's a different conversation.
No, he's not. And now his ERA on the season, 2.88. I mean, that's higher than you want it to be for a closer, obviously. Let me just change the lighting here. It's kind of bright white. Let me just fix that up. So didn't hit much tonight. I thought the atmosphere of the Little League Classic was cool. I kind of wish they had broken out the juice balls that they use for like the Field of Dreams game and so forth. But, pretty cool that most of the whole crowd was Little League players. Loved having jazz in the booth. Bat sounds and general baseball noises. The smack of the glove was great. But ultimately, all that is ruined because of, once again, the Yankees bullpen, which is absolute trash. We did get a pretty good start for Marcus Stroman. Second really good start in a row. I don't think we can ignore that. 6 shutout innings, 87 pitches, 53 strikes, 8 swings and misses. Only 4 hits allowed, no walks. No runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. A lot of ground balls. And when he is on, he's throwing those soft ground balls. And we saw ground ball after ground ball to second base tonight. Is Marcus Stroman back, in your opinion?
I mean, maybe they skipped a start for him to work on some things mechanically, and I feel like since then he's kind of right the ship a little bit. So you see, he's having a really solid year. I mean, all things considered, he obviously had a pretty poor stretch there, but in 24 starts with a 3.82 ERA, very, very, very solid. 92 strikeouts, 54 walks. The whip is pretty solid too. So I think for the money that they're paying him for the contract that he has, I'm not displeased with what I've gotten from Stroman. I think that his great start this year, his struggles recently, that was a little bit kind of coming back to earth, a little bit of the righting of the ship, I guess, the other way, if you want to look at it that way. But, I think that he's a guy who really dives deep into his mechanics. He seems like he prepares pretty seriously, cares. I like his attitude and his mentality out there on the mound, loves being a Yankee. So I can't really complain too much about him. I mean, yeah, he had a bad stretch. Guys are going to go through that. But I am glad that he was able to maybe just tell the Yankees, hey, look, give me a start off. I'm going to work on some things mechanically in the bullpen, see if I can figure some things out. And looks like he made some adjustments, and we're seeing the results of that now.
So let's talk a little bit about Dominguez. Obviously, back from Tommy John surgery. That's a positive. Last year when he came up, he could do no wrong. I mean, he was amazing from his first at bat. He returned and pretty much tore up AAA pitching or minor league pitching before he hurt his oblique. Since he's come back, he's really been struggling. And the Yankees brought him up tonight because they needed a right-handed bat against Tarik Skubal, who's just absolutely deadly against lefties. Dominguez looked a little bit overmatched. Aaron Boone had him in left field, batting fifth. Typically, he's a center fielder, and it seems like they're going to send him back down after the game, which they probably should do, and then he'll be back in a couple of weeks when the rosters expand. Right-hand side of the plate for him is definitely weaker, so I was kind of interested to see how he would do against Skubal, who's such a nasty pitcher, and he was overmatched. He went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts, and then obviously the play at the end of the game where he really should have come up firing and did not, and I'm sure there's going to be some talk about that. But, I mean, rookie mistake, right? I mean, every rookie makes – that's why the phrase exists, rookie mistake. He knows now. He'll learn from that. He'll take it back to the minor leagues with him. But I thought he looks like he's in pretty good shape anyway. Just the way the uniform's fitting him. You could tell he's lost a little bit of weight from the end of last season, so that's good. Any thoughts on Jasson Dominguez?
Yeah, I agree with you. He looked a bit overmatched tonight. But like you said, he looks like he's in shape. I think left field long-term probably ends up being where he ends up, especially if Jones comes up. You're going to probably put Jones in center. So I think that eventually he probably profiles out to a left fielder. But, yeah, he looked a little overmatched. And, he was facing Tarik Skubal. I call him Tariq. I can't stop. But it's Tarek.
Everybody was overmatched tonight. I mean, he was dominating everybody.
He is going to win the Cy Young, I think, this year. I think he's going to win the Cy Young in the American League. He deserves it. He's had a great season. I didn't think they were going to trade him either because he's a guy – they would have got a ton back for him, but they're probably a couple of years away, and they're going to build their rotation around that guy. I mean, he's young. He's got a lot of controllable years. There's no way he was going anywhere, but he's going to win the Cy Young. Everyone's getting overmatched. I'm not going to look at Dominguez, a kid. I know he came on and lit the world on fire when he first came up, but that's
21.
He's going to win the Cy Young, and then Miller right after him. That guy throws hard too. So also, I don't think he's gotten the reps yet this year.
Yeah,
he'll come back in September. They'll give him some at bats, and I'm sure he'll kind of start to ease into it a little bit more.
But we got the Guardians coming up on Tuesday. That is going to be no joke. They have tomorrow off, and then a 6-game homestand, 3 against Cleveland, and then 3 against the Rockies. Guardians are one of those teams that the Yankees have historically played very well against, and the Guardians are having a good season. So something's got to give. TK, what's going on with the Guardians right now? I had you kind of do a little scouting report on them.
Yeah, and like you said, it is true. We have played them in pretty well over the last 20 years, really, just in our history in general. I mean, we own them in the playoffs. We are what the Houston Astros are to us for the Guardians.
Yes.
Honestly. So, but they are a crafty team. I did not think they were going to be good at all. But that division is a bit weaker, but it's better than people think. Kansas City's good this year. They're fighting off Minnesota for first place. So those 3 teams are kind of all in the mix right there. But Cleveland's a lot better than people think. Stephen Vogt might win Manager of the Year in his managerial rookie year, if you will.
Yeah.
And then they got Stephen Kwan. Guy's just a huge pain in the ass at the plate, doesn't get out leading off, and they got some nice pieces there. Their pitching has always been a strong suit for them. They know how to develop pitching. Matt Blake came from their system in terms of pitching development. And then Emmanuel Clase. I can't throw the guy more flowers. I was here at the beginning of the season thinking Cleveland would suck and they would consider selling Emmanuel Clase, and I would have given up Spencer Jones for Emmanuel Clase. If you go look at his numbers, I'm not exaggerating. He plays for Cleveland, so it's not talked about. He's having a Mariano Rivera-esque season right now. He could get some Cy Young votes. He's having an absolutely unbelievable year right now.
Can I read his numbers real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
He has appeared in 57 games. He's got 56 1/3 innings. He's got a 0.64 ERA and a 0.657 whip. I mean, this guy who throws a nearly 100-mile-an-hour cutter that breaks late like Mariano's did. Mariano never had a year with a 0.6 ERA. I think the best he had was like 1.25 or something like that, somewhere in that range. But I'm not saying that Clase is better, but, in the age that he's in, he's got the closest thing to Mariano Rivera's stuff.
Oh, that we've seen, yeah. And you know what's amazing? He was with Texas. Cleveland traded Corey Kluber to the Texas Rangers for Emmanuel Clase straight up. And Corey Kluber pitched, I swear to God, 3 innings for the Rangers that season, then time with the Yankees. Yeah. So there have been some bad trades in recent history. I know that Cashman's made some bad trades in the last few years, but that's just a really, really bad one. It's got to be up there because Emmanuel Clase, no kidding, is the best closer in the game right now. And I even remember hearing about a guy throwing a 102-mile-an-hour cutter with the Rangers. Oh, he got traded to the, at the time, Indians. And I was like, that guy seems like he's going to be really good. 102 cutter? That's ridiculous.
Let's take this super chat real quick from Theo Harris. Are you worried about falling out of a playoff spot? Losses like this make him feel this way. So I'm not that worried yet. Obviously, we had the best record in baseball like a day ago. And, it's going to go back and forth with the Orioles for the next, several weeks. I'm sure there will be more games that we feel like we should have won. And there'll be some games that we steal that we probably should have lost. There's still like 38 games or something like that left. So I'm not super worried about it. Are you worried about missing the playoffs? I don't think you should be.
No. I think worst case scenario, we're the road team in the wild card round. I think it's like a 99.9% chance that we're making the playoffs. It's just whether or not we're on the road to play the wild card game or we're hosting the first round after the wild card game because we won the division. So It'll be in there somewhere, but I do not think we're missing the playoffs. No, even if I think we play like 500 the rest of the way, we won't win the division, but I think we still make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think we're going to make the playoffs, no problem.
Baseball is bad this year. Baseball is bad as a league this year too.
The question is, can we get home field advantage? Can we get a little break? And would a break and home field advantage even benefit us this year? Because breaks in the past, the last few years, have kind of thrown some teams out of whack, in particular the Braves. And then, the Yankees have not played at home particularly well this year. So a lot to talk about there. We're going to go to a quick sponsor real quick. We're in a segment I call Pay the Light Bill, and then we'll be back with the game recap.
Big shout out to America's #1 meal kit, HelloFresh, for helping us eat good during this busy time of the year for us. With HelloFresh, you get pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. It's home cooking made easy, fun, and affordable.
HelloFresh makes it easy, even for picky eaters like Scott. There's a changing menu of 50 recipes to choose from each week. Customize it to fit your taste. There's protein and veggie swap options too. The recipes are easy to follow. Just choose your delivery day, open your box, cook, and eat.
My house is busy with sports, but family dinners are important. My fam eats better, healthier, and we cook so much easier with HelloFresh.
And for a limited time, kids eat free. Go to HelloFresh.com/FTKids to unlock this exclusive offer. 1 free kids meal per box for 2 months while subscription is active. That's free kids meals just by going to HelloFresh.com/FTKids.
All right, let's go. Let's get it going.
All right. So both teams were quiet early. Matt Vierling robbed Oswald Peraza of a potential extra base hit in the top of the third. Peraza looks good this time around, TK.
Yeah, he looks pretty good, and honestly good for him because this is his last chance. I'm being straight up. I mean, he's 24 years old. I think this is really his last chance. So I'm rooting for him. I want him to be good. I want him to hit well. We know he's got the glove. So I don't know why they don't want to trade him. I mean, are they just holding on to him for depth? I don't really see the need, especially now that you've acquired Jazz. But I guess what they're hoping for is they can kind of recuperate some of his value if he performs well and maybe trade him this offseason. But he would be a guy I'd probably look to let go just for the fact that you're not going to bring back labor. But Volpe's your shortstop. Jazz can play second. You have DJ in the infield as well. And you got Yorbit Vivas, who may be in the mix next season. So you got some young pieces. I don't really almost feel like there's a need for a Peraza. But, hey, listen, the more the merrier, right? It's a better problem to have if he's going to play well. So I'm rooting for him. And, yeah, he looks good. He's hitting the ball hard and looks pretty comfortable, and I like what I've seen so far.
Yeah, got pinch hit for halfway through the game by Cabrera, so I think they're going to stick with that straight righty-lefty matchup kind of platoon thing. First action at all in this game was in the 5th inning. Yankees made a perfect relay, Judge to Volpe to Trevino to nail a runner at home, prevent the Tigers from going up 1-0. Top 6, aggressive base running by Gleyber Torres to score on a pass ball. Good slide, feet first. He's not making that mistake again. Rare heads-up base running from Gleyber Torres. Stroman was done after 6 outstanding innings. As we mentioned, fantastic performance by Marcus Stroman. Final line, 6 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Weaver was lights out in the 7th. Tommy Kahnle was lights out in the 8th. And then we got to talk about Clay Holmes a little bit more now that we got 800 people in the chat here. It's never easy with Clay Holmes. Served up a double and then a single to tie the game. Nice throw by Dominguez, by the way, to make that one close. Like, he came up firing on the first throw that he had, and it was just a little bit high. And if it was a little bit lower, he would have nailed the run at home. Yankees regained the lead on an RBI single by LeMahieu to score the Manfred runner in the top of the 10th. The Yankees banged into a double play. They hit into 3 double plays today, I think, and all at inopportune time. It's never a good time to hit into a double play. And then Clay Holmes, obviously, his 10th blown save, and the Tigers came in. Mark Leiter came in for the 10th inning and served up the 2 go-ahead runs to end the game and end the series.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
You get nothing.
I'm flustered, man.
Good day, sir.
Clay Holmes has me in my feelings. He has me in my feelings right now.
Yeah, we're starting to arrive to the, and I know I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat. Obviously, they're already ready to move him out of the closer role, and if he keeps this up, he will be out of the closer role. I think the only reason he kind of still is in the closer role is who else are they going to put in there? They got a lot of guys hurt. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing an Ian Hamilton maybe in that role. Even a Luke Weaver looks pretty good tonight. But being a closer in baseball, it goes a lot deeper than just what you are as a player. There's like a mental aspect to it as well. You got to have ice in your veins. You got to be Steph Curry for the gold medal game. You got to have that kind of ice in the veins to be a closer. And I know that people, I've said Clay Holmes is a good reliever, and people are like, ripping me for that. He is. He's got good stuff, but he's a good 7th inning guy. He's a good 6th inning guy. He's a good 8th inning guy. He's just maybe not a good 9th inning guy, and that's the case for a lot of guys. So maybe Luke Weaver has the chops, or I honestly, Luis Heel, like stuff wise, could be awesome as a closer. But again, he's a kid. Are you going to put a kid in the 9th inning in the playoffs? Like,
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like Schmidt. I don't know. I like Schmidt as a starter. I mean, I used to not like him as a starter, but he's really changed my opinion of him with how he was pitching before he got hurt. I mean, I don't see a lot of great options. I mean, it's just, I feel like they should have gone out and got another arm, Yeah. Tanner Scott, we talked about that, though. The price would have been astronomical. It would have been Spencer Jones and Roderick Arias and probably 1 or 2 others, just judging by what San Diego had to give up to get him.
For sure.
I don't really have anyone in mind for the closer role. I mean, they all kind of give me problems.
Seeing a lot of Cousins in the chat, Jake Cousins.
I mean, Luke Weaver's probably my favorite high leverage reliever right now, but I also like him in like the setup role too,
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's tough, man. This game was just a disaster. This was just a disaster. Yankees should have won this game. I mean, if you have a lead in the 9th inning in a game in which Tariq Skubal pitched against you to start the game and threw as well as he did, you have to win that game. You're stealing one right there, and they just didn't get it done.
No, just didn't get it done. But that being said, I'm a big fan of the Little League Classic. I just want to say that as well. I like that event that MLB does a lot. It's kind of like Field of Dreams. I'm hoping they bring that back as well. Dude, Jazz in the crowd with the kids, that was awesome. That was really cool to see. He honestly, remember those reports he's got like a personality issue in the clubhouse? I'm not reading that at all, honestly, at all. So whatever.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. I mean, he seems like such a great kid. I mean, and I think he really likes being a Yankee. Ice has Kahnle for closer. I don't know, man. I mean, I'd rather have Kahnle than Clay Holmes. If I had to vote between the two, I think I'd vote I'd vote Canely on that one.
Well, I'll ask you, Derek. There's two things here. Who are we? We're expecting Efros and Hamilton to come back and Birdie to come back.
Yeah.
For reliever arms. And who's in the minors right now? Is Beater hurt or is he pitching again right now?
He's hurt. He's done for the year. He's got a shoulder issue.
Yeah, so he's done. And then there's Poteet still, but he's more of like a starter kind of guy. So, I mean, I'm trying to think of like arms they have in the minors that are guys. Usually what you want for the ninth inning guy is like a guy in the minors who's throwing 100.
Yeah.
Because like just like let it rip, man. Let's see what you got. Because it's like sink or swim with the closer role. If he goes out there and he's pumping gas and he's throwing strikes, he probably has the chops to do it. Because it's hard to
Dylan Betances type stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Here's something to consider. The Rangers are out of it, right? They could do that dump deadline thing where they release guys basically, and then other teams can pick them up the waiver. I mean, if Robertson becomes available, he would never get to the Yankees, I don't think. But if he becomes available, that would be the best option. I do think that they are going to dump some players, some contracts, kind of like the Angels did last year.
Dude, the Dodgers DFA'd Ahmed Rosario.
Yeah.
Like that was a weird one to me. Did anybody pick him up?
I don't think so. That's a very odd one. John Falsetta says that Boone said he loved how Clay threw the ball.
That's. Oh man, I don't even really have like a response to that. It's just stop lying to the fan base, man.
Right.
I mean, you can say, look, like tonight was just a tough one for him. He didn't get it done. Like you don't have to rip the guy, but don't like straight up lie to the fans. We're not stupid.
Right. CM says the Reds picked him up, Rosario.
Right.
So I didn't hear that, but all right. Well, tough night. Let's get to the final thoughts here as we wrap up the Little League Classic. Tough game for the Yankees.
That ball is high. It is far.
Reminder to subscribe to the channel, to follow on all your favorite podcast platforms. If you've already followed NYY Recaps, you don't have to change it. Pinstripe Territory is updated automatically. And subscribe to the channel, comment, all that stuff. It helps other fans find the channel. And if you want to support the channel with $5 a month, you can become a member, and it just kind of helps keep the lights on. TK, any final thoughts on this one?
It hurt. I feel like I've said that too many times with Clay Holmes coming into the ninth, where that loss sucked, that hurt. I don't know. It'll be very interesting what they decide to do at the end of the season with the closer role, and eventually in the playoffs and see who's closing games. Because if Clay Holmes keeps doing this, I don't know how you can run him out there in the ninth inning against the Houston Astros per se, because they've come back alive and they're going to be sulking around there. So God, I hate that team so much. I hate that team.
And I feel like all roads to the World Series have to go through Houston once again.
Until proven otherwise in the American League,
100%. All right, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate it. Follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, on all that good stuff, and we will catch you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and give us a subscribe. It helps other Yankees fans find the channel. We're also on all your favorite podcast platforms and social media. Join the community, have some fun. We're here after every game. This is Pinstripe Territory.